Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we are doing something, another little different thing. I was listening to a podcast. It's the Apple Circle podcast. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is, but they're a podcast that talks about Apple products, everything to do with Apple. And so today, or yesterday, last night, when I was listening to it, they were talking about screen time, and they were talking about the analytics behind screen time and how much they actually use their phone and what apps are their favorites versus what is used the most. So I thought it would be kind of a cool idea to make a video on that. So yeah, that's pretty much what this video is going to be. So let's just jump right into it. So when you go into, if you have an iPhone, because I know there's quite a few people that use Androids, and I'm sure there's probably some sort of third-party app that also tracks your screen time somehow, some way, I don't know. So look into that if you want information on what you use your phone for actually. But for iPhone users, it's a new built-in app. It's an applet, or whatever you want to call it. It's inside iOS 12. Pretty much everybody with an iPhone X has it because that's the default version that it comes with. But older people with older phones, like older Apple users, might have to update to iOS 12, and some have it. So if you don't have that, it's probably because you're not on the current iOS that supports it. So if you want that, you'll have to go update. It's out there, it's free. It shouldn't take you more than an hour and a half to install and update. But anyways, so what we're gonna do today is I'm going to basically just go through a rundown of my entire screen time for the last 7 days, which my Saturday doesn't really show anything because that's the day I'm recording it, so there's nothing really happening so far because it's like noon, so I barely even use my phone. But I didn't want to wait till tomorrow because then it's gonna be the same thing with Sunday. There's just not gonna be any data for Sunday. So you really only get 6 full days of analytics because the 7th day you haven't really used it until the end of the day, which I didn't really want to record this at nighttime because that would just be boring. And also it'd be nighttime, and I'd rather not. But anyways, let's go ahead and just start off with what the first thing you see is. You see your name of your phone, you see screen time, and today, the first little section here is 3 hours and 1 minute per day, which is 29% less than last week. So that means I average about 3.5, and it tells you in everything. But this is a basic overlook. I'll try and pop a screenshot of that if I can at some point on the screen. As I'm going, I'm going to try and screen record some of the stuff and just to see what actually happens. But you start with that. You have per day, generally I get, what is it saying here, 3 hours per day, give or take. My most used, as you probably saw on the graph there, and if I have it on the screen, then it's going to be somewhere over here on either side of me. But you'll see that Wednesday is my most used day for the most time, because Wednesday is generally a day that I'm up early, I'm at home for the majority of the day, not doing really anything, so I'm on my phone more. And then when I'm at school, I'm using my phone to play, as you can see by my most used app, Pokemon Go, and also to research stuff for my innovation projects, which you'll see for Apollo and YouTube, because that's where I'm finding other creators to help me work on my projects. But Pokemon Go is more for fun stuff, which I'll explain to that when I get to the app section. But first, just overall analytic, about 3 hours per day. I average about 5 hours of game time per week here. We're going into the weekly now. 5 hours for games, 5 hours for social networking, and 3 hours for entertainment, which is a little bit off, but in total, that's 21 hours. So I almost use my phone for one entire day in a week, which it would probably tick up 4 more hours or 3 more hours because I haven't used all of Saturday yet. So I average about a day per week on my phone. But my most used app, so top 5 most used apps here. Number 1 is Pokemon Go with 5 hours and 19 minutes. Apollo, which is a Reddit app, which is just a dark mode version of Reddit instead of just using the regular Reddit, which I'm assuming probably has dark mode now, but I've just been using Apollo for like 2 years. But anyways, Apollo's at 3 hours and 4 minutes. YouTube's at 2 hours and 50 minutes. Snapchat is 2 hours on the money. And then number 5 is my messaging app, iMessage, which is 1 hour and 43 minutes. And then it ticks down from there. It gives you like the top, it shows you every analytic, but it gives you like the top 7, top 15, until you get to know more apps on your phone. But then I have like Twitter, Amazon, Alexa, don't trigger, she didn't trigger, that's good. Clash Royale, Discord, YouTube, Studio, all that junk. But anyways, I think that's pretty on par for the apps that I use the most. Obviously, that's what I do use the most, but they are the most apps that I tend to go towards are Pokemon Go, Apollo, Snapchat. And then there's also a little tab there. You can click on show categories of most use. My most used category is obviously games because I have Pokemon Go, which is at 5 hours, and then I had Clash Royale down there at like 23 minutes, which are the only 2 games I have on my phone. And then it's social networking / entertainment for 4 hours each. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you go to pickups, which that's an interesting thing because it shows you how many times you actually pick up your phone in a day, which here it's showing 87 pickups per day. And surprisingly, Thursday is the day I pick up my phone the most, which is probably to do with I'm at school more, which means we're constantly going and doing Pokemon raids and catching Pokemon, so I'm picking up my phone and closing it more often, whereas Wednesday it's just kind of open for like 30-ish minutes while I'm watching a YouTube video, and then it's off for like an hour while I'm working on something. So I guess that makes a little bit more sense, but in total, since last Thursday, okay, never mind, I'm reading that wrong. The most pickups was Thursday at 139. So I had 139 pickups last Thursday, and then in total, in the last 7 days, I picked up my phone 606 times, which seems like a lot, but I'm sure if you guys go through your analytics, it's probably pretty high up there, so I don't think that I'm like addicted to my phone necessarily speaking, but most frequently apped is Pokemon Go, obviously, and then Snapchat right underneath it, and then iMessage and Twitter, which is about on par with the most used apps. I mean, obviously YouTube's a lot lower because you're watching something, so you're only opening it one time for a span of an hour, whereas something like Snapchat, you're opening it, looking at somebody's snap, closing it, and then opening again when somebody else sends you another snap. So it's kind of not exactly the same analytic, but I do like the pickup analytic more because it shows you what apps you tend to go back to more than apps you're just having open for a long period of time. And then the last section is notifications, which I average about 88 notifications per day, which is on par with my pickups, which is 87 per day, because that means I only pick up my phone one time when it's not a notification is basically what that's telling me, is that I'm really only using my phone when A, I just am looking something up, or B, somebody has sent me something and I go and look at it. But in total for the last week, I had 614 notifications, which I don't even pick up my phone for every single one of those notifications, as you can see with the previous 606 for the pickups and 614 for the notifications. And then of course the most notifications, which is a little surprising, I get 282 roughly per week of Snapchat notifications, but that's because I have streaks with 15 people, give or take. And then I have maybe 3 or 4 people I actually have like a conversation with in that day. So I can see that, and that's one of 4 apps that I actually have notifications for, which the other one is iMessage, which me and Boston use that to talk, and I text my mom and my brother and my sister and my uncle. That's really about it on there. Sometimes I set up appointments for like my haircut, or somebody randomly just hits me up for some odd reason and they didn't just use Snapchat, because I do use Snapchat as like my actual like social media messaging, and then iMessage is more curated towards family and really just family. To be honest, there's not really much else. I don't text a lot of people. I just use Snapchat to do that because I don't need their phone number and they don't need my phone number. It's just I don't know, it's just what I use. And then of course my clock for my alarms in the morning. And then I have literally no other notifications set because I don't like having notifications, because I feel like it makes you go and open your phone more. So if you don't like being on your phone, that's the easiest way to cut out being on your phone for long periods of time. Just stop all notifications, or stop notifications from most messaging and social media apps. Like for Twitter, I get 64 notifications a week, and that's because I have notifications when somebody retweets or tweets from Boston, Spencer, and Sydney, and then that's it. Just 3 people that I have that show me that they're talking. I don't have any other notifications from anybody else. Snapchat I have all open, because when somebody sends you a snap, generally they're sending it directly to you. So just getting back to them in case they need to talk to me or whatever, because I do use it as a regular messaging app as well. And then iMessage because I do talk back and forth with Boston very often on there. And then you have Calendar, which gets me 8 in a week, which is literally just my class schedules every day, and if I have something important on the weekend, it'll pop up. Gmail with 4, because I have only notifications from real people and not like newsletters and other things like that. So it's actually important emails. I only get about 4 of those in a week. FaceTime, phone, and Discord. I only had 1 notification from Discord, which is because I joined a channel and then I turned off notifications. So my notifications are generally a lot lower than probably yours because I just cut them all out in order to reduce the time on my phone. So with that being said, pretty much that covers everything I wanted to talk about in this video. So what I want to do, and the main reason why I made this video is because I listened to a podcast where they were talking about their analytics, and I thought it was kind of interesting to see the inside of what people do and to elaborate a little bit more on the Pokemon Go thing. Yeah, I'm a nerd. It's okay that literally my name on this channel is Oh Nerd. I mean, you guys already understand that I do video games and I like that side of entertainment. So it's not really surprising that I use that app. And it's an app that me and my friends use a lot at school because there's a lot of raids, a lot of Pokemon to catch there. And it's something that we all just do together in between classes because why sit around and talk about internet networking when we can just go play a fun 10 to whatever 27-year-old game Pokemon is at this point. And it's dope. So I mean, you can say whatever you want about Pokemon Go. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that are on Instagram. All you do is just look at other people and you don't even post anything yourself. So I mean, at least I'm talking to other people in real life and getting exercise. So not to throw shade at anybody that uses Instagram, but if you notice, I don't even have Instagram. I technically have an old account and I don't use it anymore. But I just don't like that whole culture anymore. So I just stopped using it. And so if you don't like me using Pokemon Go, then cool, I guess. Good. I'm glad you have that opinion, but I don't really care. So that's my basic rundown of all of my apps. So the whole wrap this whole thing up. Analytics are cool, and I like that feature that Apple has added to the iPhone. And I'm sure Android users, you can probably find a few apps somewhere on wherever you guys get your apps. I don't know because I don't use an Android, but I'm sure there's apps out there that record screen time and stuff like that. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I made this video more for entertainment value because my vlog for the week was pretty lackluster from the clips that I have that I'm editing slowly. I noticed that it was kind of meh, so I just wanted to give you guys something a little bit more and to get used to recording more often and getting better at being in front of the camera, giving value to you guys, I guess you could say. So I want to challenge, it's not really as much of a challenge, but if you want to, then I think it'd be really cool if you guys would also go through your analytics and maybe post a video about it and tweet it at me or put it in the comments of this video, the link to your YouTube video. I don't know if YouTube lets you link your own YouTube videos, but yeah, I just kind of challenge you guys to go and take a look at your analytics and kind of see what you're actually using your phone for, if it's for purely entertainment and time wasting, or if you are productive like myself with my classes. I do use this to look up information and help me with my innovation class. So I would say it's about like 75 to 80% entertainment and social networking, and the other, 25% is for entertainment. Or did I already say entertainment? Yeah, I already said entertainment. It's for productivity. So I think it would be interesting if you guys would also make videos and share what your screen time is, because I think it's a really cool feature that Apple has made, and it helps you think about how much you actually use your phone, which I know in today's society, most people are just on their phones all the time. So this really is just like a eye-opener to how much you actually use your phone. And yeah, I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Check out my vlogs, which I'm going to link probably down below, and an end card if I remember. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys sometime next week with some more videos. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all next time. See ya!